For some years in the research teams, we've been looking at getting the planning process more into the hands of the pupils. And several things have emerged that really seem to make a difference. We need to have pre-planning meetings for a start to make sure that there's enough time to take account of their prior knowledge and their ideas. Secondly, we need to include skills as well as knowledge in those planning discussions and bring the two together so that we're looking at transferable skills. We found that if you break down the questions you ask children, then you get much more reliable, more focused, valid responses about their prior knowledge. Alice's pre-planning discussion with her 6-year-olds incorporates science, literacy and art. By breaking down both the prior knowledge questions to them and then later the skills to be covered when she asks for their ideas, she helps clarify what she wants as well as giving them a real focus.
So next half term we're going to be learning about ladybirds, and I want you to think about what you already know. So there are 4 different things for you to think about, and you're going to talk about them with your talk partner. So I want you to think about, what do you know about the life cycle of a ladybird? We've done the life cycle of a plant. Not yet, you're going to talk about it with your talk partner, Grace. So what do you know about the life cycle of a ladybird? What do you know about where they live? So their habitats. What do you know about what they look like? And what do you know about how they move? So we're going to start with these two. So with your talk partner, I want you to think about, what do you already know about the ladybird's life cycle and where ladybirds live? Isaac, and your partner, what do you know about them, about their life cycle or where they live?
They start to hatch.
So they hatch, okay?
And then they turn into a baby, and then they have wings and they start to grow again.
Okay, so they hatch, then they're a baby, then they grow wings, and then the life cycle starts again. Is that what you think? So it goes back round to there. You remembered when we did about the plant life cycle, didn't you? Remembering it went all the way round, okay? Thomas, and your partner?
They have long legs.
They have long legs, that's what they look like. Go on, Flynn.
And they have, it's like 7 spots in it.
Oh, so, okay, so you think they've got the number of spots, it matches the age they are, do you?
Yes.
So you think on their birthday they grow a new spot. Okay, all right. So we've thought about what you already know about ladybirds. Now I'm going to show you some of the skills that you're going to be learning next half term. And I want you to think about how you want to learn those skills, okay? So some of the skills that we're going to learn, and you're going to talk to your talk partner about how you want to learn those skills. So one of the skills we're going to learn, or practice, because we've done this lots of time, is to write a descriptive sentence. Just listen. We're also going to practice learning to find information, so getting information from places. We're learning to write a question, and we want to label correctly.
Claire and her 6-year-olds present some of their ideas on the classroom display at the end of their seaside topic. Claire's commentary shows us the balance between the children's ideas and the decisions the teacher has to make.
I started off by thinking about how I could involve the children in the pre-planning stage for our literacy topic, which was going to be fantasy stories. So I asked the children what they already knew about that, and we compiled a list of stories, and from that they chose Finding Nemo. So I asked them what they would like to learn, and then they gave a big list, and from that Vinny had a bit of a clever idea.
My idea was to make a big display board.
So the children are going to tell you now a little bit about their ideas and how we fitted them into our topics that lasted for about 6 weeks.
I brought in a picture of me in my mummy's tummy for growing and changing, just like when Nemo was a baby and he grew up into a clownfish.
So our PSHE topic was growing and changing, and the children suggested that from Nemo we thought about when he started off as an egg and how he grew into a big clownfish, and they did some drawings about this and suggested that we make the big rock with the egg and put a picture of him grown up as a reminder of what we had done.
My idea was to print out a picture of Nemo and his bad thingy because we was working on what makes us special.
We were doing some work about relationships, and the children printed out some pictures and then did some writing to accompany it, and then they printed those out so that they could refer back to them.
My idea was to do the poems so we could remember them, and it was our first time to learn about describe words and simile and rhyming words.
So they suggested we do some writing, and for the writing we decided we'd make shape poems. So we used the shape of the sea and the shape of the fish, and then we put those up there to remind us about the success criteria that we thought of for shape poems, including the adjectives and the similes that they used.
It was my idea to make the fish to thread with to put on a display board.
One of our objectives was to be able to weave pieces of paper, so when they suggested we make the fish, that was our context, and our objective was to be able to weave so they fitted in nicely together.
For my homework, I used plasticine to make my seaside.
Some of the suggestions the children made were harder to fit in to our plans because they didn't quite fit in with our curriculum topics at the time. So I set an open-ended piece of homework, and for 2 weeks they worked on pieces of art where they could make a 3D seaside to fit in with the topic. So all of the ideas on our board came from the children. That was our context for all of our work, and I just had to fit that in with our objectives. So it gave the children a lot more ownership over the board and the work that went up on it.
Roger's class of 11-year-olds had tried